Let's create VDB mesh, which is perfect for the situation and most of it. I love it the most. Insert particle source. Already. So it's very easy. First and foremost, we need to use bounded in order to save loads of time. This is another handy feature in RealFlow. You can use bounded on most of the forces and meshes, and this helps us actually to save loads of time and in the forces to have more control. So we definitely have the most control we need. There we go. We will be meshing only this part eventually. We will mesh it all. But to tweak the mesh itself, we need only to see the detail and to see how close it is to the actual surface. Other handy features, tools, particle tooltip. So you just press it on the particles and wait a second until it appears the details. So we have the radius, as you can see, 0.0 0.01077. So we put it over here, 0.77, and we will use eventually probably we can use the same value over the particle polygon size. However, let's just see what we have over what the RealFlow itself will decide. So let's just right mouse button and bolt. Other good thing is to view, show, and unselect selection highlighting. This way you can see, as you can see, it already picked up quite well. So if we would use this mesh from way further away, actually this works really well because we will have less faces, and this means less polygons, and this means quicker renders, and you know, it's always optimizing. And again, we gain additional speed. And actually for the camera, so we would position the camera, we don't need a very high quality mesh, so we can even mesh this one. Before we do that, I want to show you very quickly how actually you can tweak it up to the final close-up quality, so you would be easily using the mesh in the close-ups as well. So what you can do is simply unselect auto polygon size, and the rule is to go down a bit slightly. As you can see, it improved a little bit already. And I wouldn't say that this one is bad already at all. You can pretty much use it as well. But filter gives us more close to the surface. It just shrinks. You can see what it does. And if you want to amp it up, you know, to bring it even more closer to the surface, you don't first change the relaxation itself, but to bump up the substeps itself, because this brings a more tuned version. And then if you need, you can bump it up just slightly as you go. So you can see we are getting closer. As I said, we can use the same value. This would be actually kind of the closest. But you know, it depends. The other handy feature is that you can animate radius, and sometimes you may get some troubles. Not kind of a trouble, but if you would see in the end, we do have this more tensed way in this cloth-ish simulation, and this way, let me show you how it looks. And you have to work through the settings, but you can animate the radius, and this way you can have those unnecessary results, you know, unwanted results to actually be cleaned, and this is very important to do. And also you can animate relaxation, steps, and all of it. But for this simulation, I only needed to animate very slightly the radius itself. Other than that, because I liked kind of having a little bit more texture shown up eventually, and I made it quite close to the surface, so even this texture would be seen. These lines, because I wanted to have this kind of feel over the cloth feels. So let's just go back to original mesh, because we want to create SD camera and bring it back to work through it even further. So the mesh is done. As you can see already, we have loads of detail. There we go. That's how beautiful it is and how fast it is to work with VDB mesh and to work with elastics. I love the look already. So just imagine how many different angles we can find and fine-tune the animatics and animation itself. So the one we have is one of the versions of the many versions we can create. Yeah, so let's keep it going. Now all that is left is to create cameras, export this geometry and create cameras inside 3D software and go back with the new cameras beside the ones we have inside RealFlow. So this way we can plan our animatics, and as you can see now we have kind of in the same shape we want, but we need to position cameras exactly as we want for the animatics. So let's go into Maya, and first and foremost we need to export bin mesh, and that's it. Let's do it. So we're in Maya. It's very simple. We positioned cameras, and all we need to do is to select the camera and export it. See the view we actually want to have, and this way we can work inside RealFlow while having this SD animation of the camera. We can work through the looks and see if it actually works fine, and we can tweak the simulation itself. So you drag and drop and you see the camera you want to have. And lastly, we need to make playbacks. and create the animatics for the final cut or direction. So there's few stages, as you can see. And again, we don't use too high of a resolution, but it's enough to have production level quality. And that's how fast and easy and creative RealFlow elastics are right now.